Well, the actual title was "The Swedes Are Strange, ... and so am I," because I think that's, from an anthropological point of view, that's lesson number one. We are all strange in somebody's eyes. This is a bit difficult sometimes for Swedes to understand, but they are also rather strange. And but it was business-based, so how we get things done, because that's also a definition of culture, how we get things done. That's the way we do things round here. So I took up, in the short time that I had, I took up the Swedish meeting culture. Now everybody knows, of course, that Swedes have a lot of meetings, but I mean there's a cultural reason for this, and there are good points about it, absolutely, but also it's very time-consuming, and it takes a lot of time, and the decisions aren't made sometimes when they should be made. So that's what I talked about, but also what's important for me is what, in Swedish anyway, you have a good word for it, it's called självinsikt. So it's like a self-perspective, that you see yourself as a human being, of course, but also as a cultural being. So we do things, and if you say, well, where does that come from? Well, it might be because we're a human being, and that's what human beings do. But it also might be because of your culture, because you think this is right. You know, this is the way to do it. I have never, yeah, it's the kind of things that you've been taught to do, or that you've picked up. So that was the sort of the red thread. Now, in every other European language, they talk about the red thread, even in Swedish, den röda tråden, but not in English. We don't have that, and I understand in Slovakian and in Czech and Polish they have the red thread, but not in English. But I say the red thread, all right, but it's not very good English. Yes, and I think actually, and I'm going to come back to the point I've just made, and that is self-perspective. So you have these people working in very hierarchical organizations, and a lot of the people who have come to Sweden recently come from hierarchical countries, hierarchical families. And if you're in a hierarchical family, well, then it's pretty sure that you want hierarchical organizations around you. I mean, that's... So what can we do about it? Well, I think that we have to get to know ourselves and our own organizations and why we do as we do in order to explain it. All right? I mean, this is what we do is not enough. We do this because... so it's like being an ambassador for your way, but I don't mean that you have your way and that's it, and we're not going to get anywhere. But I mean, this has evolved. I mean, the fact that the Swedes have flat organizations mostly, it's evolved. I mean, look around in society. It's happened. Okay, there are a few political decisions, but most of the time people quite like it. And that's also a definition of culture, that, you know, that's the way we do things around here, and most of the time we quite like it.